morning and welcome to Nigeria Now, showing on your digital first Pan-African news network, TUS Television. And of course, it's Friday and we have a Friday edition of the newspapers from the national dailies for this morning. And joining us on the set is Adebayo Fajimi. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
I'm very fine.
We have a couple of stories this morning that are topping the headlines, and we'll just read them out to you and just analyze some of them. Let's begin from the Daily Trust newspaper. The banner headline there says, despite poor funding, Buhari creates 30 more tertiary institutions. We have three writers underneath that story. The first, polytechnics becoming mere constituency project, and that's coming from ASUP. And then we see experts want existing institutions revamped. Then the third one, we're seeing presidency, ministry, mom. That's the Daily Trust newspaper right there. Beside the picture of the day there, we see hundreds flee homes as ISWAP attacks Borno town again. That can be found on page 7. And then Ganduje proposes 196.3 billion naira budget for 2022. And we can get that on page 20. Troops kill terrorists making explosives from fertilizers. We can get that on page 4. And then we see PDP convention hangs as court rules on secondary suite today. Just on top of this, the newspaper right there, we see FIRS to go after tax evaders in maritime aviation sectors. We can get that on page 19. ICPC recovers 241 houses from public servant. We can get that on page 19 as well. But let's talk about the banner headline there, talking about despite poor funding, Buhari creates 30 more tertiary institutions. We've seen, calls from different stakeholders talking about welfare. Now we're seeing 30 tertiary institutions have been created by the president. What's your take on this story?
It is not about how much institutions that we have. It is about the quality of education, the quality of product, or quality of people that we are producing, day by day, year by year. So, and I think what Asup said is right, because establishing tertiary institutions, especially public institutions in Nigeria, has become constituency projects. You see a situation whereby federal government or state government says that they are establishing a particular institution in so place, and you see jubilation. You see how people will be happy, and at the end of the day, we see these schools, producing lawyers who cannot even define law. They produce doctors who cannot even heal anything. So I think it is not so much about how much institutions we have, but the quality of this institution. And no nation can rise above the quality of its education. So I think it is very important we pay more attention rather than just establishing just in order to give people maybe jobs and all of that. So the quality of education matters most, and I think government needs to take a critical look at that.
All right. The Punch newspaper, the banner headline there is talking about the PDP convention. Uncertainty reigns as 3,600 delegates arrive in Abuja for the PDP convention. And of course, that's underneath secondary switch rolling. Two riders, the first, only PDP chairman has right to supervise convention. That's coming from Oyetigbo. And PDP convention on track. APC's collapse imminent, says Tertiary. On top of that, we see Nigeria tops chart as 11 African countries block airlines $700 million revenue. That can be found on page 25 of the Punch. 21 billion naira, 14-bed Aso Rock Clinics construction begins November. That can be found on page 8. Government workers' future shaky as 20 states shun contributory pension scheme. The writer says 5 states insist on other pension schemes, 7 still at bill stage. That can be found on page 2. And underneath the pictures of the day there, where we see migrants in a caravan going to the United States to seek asylum and refugee status. Tambu, while others visit Mimiko, ex-governor, set to rejoin PDP. That can be found on page 14. And then we see something on technology. Facebook changes name to Meta, promote apps, technologies on the new firm. That can be found on page 25. Lai Mohammed lied he funded 2019 Kwara APC elections. That's coming from the secretary. We can get that on page 14. And you've seen NIMC suffers network delay amid race to meet same NIN deadline. That can be found on page 19. Suspected cultist caught with pistol in Ogun school during exam. That can be found on page 5. And then FBNH appoints ex-Fidelity Bank's boss, GMD, Eke retires. The banner headline there is secondary suit ruling. Uncertainty reigns as 3,600 delegates arrive in Abuja for PDP convention. We're seeing this amount of delegates arriving Abuja, and of course, we cannot emphasize or underemphasize the importance of the controversy surrounding this topic, right? We're having a case where we're supposed to hear secondaries rolling today, and then we're seeing a national convention that's supposed to hold tomorrow. And there are speculations, will it hold, will it not hold? We have people from PDP saying they do not have right to stop it. What's your take on this story?
My take is, though the spokesperson of the party has made it clear that even though the secondus, as petition, is trying to, hurt the convention, and it says whether that they have not even seen anything. So that's a position, he made. But I think if the PDP do not manage, its house very well, it is going to, cause them a lot, and it's going to really, really affect them. So I think, even though courts, rule in favor of secondus today, we all know that we are in a nation whereby we do not have respect, for the rule of law. We don't have respect for court order. So everybody, does whatever he or she likes. So my own take is just that PDP should be, they should be able to, they should try as much as they can to manage, because going to court is not even the solution, to the crisis rocking the party. So I think they should look for better way, and it's going to be a part of what they are going to do tomorrow, because we have read that about 3,600 delegates, already arrived at Abuja, so for the convention. So they should try as much as they can, to put their hands together, just like they say that they want to rescue Nigeria. Well, all well and good, as much as they can put, the house together to ensure that, the nation is at peace.
All right. The Nation newspaper right here is talking about PDP governors, elders head for showdown over Oyinlola. On top of the Nation newspaper there, that's the top tag. Police query Kyari on panels findings, no extradition request yet. ICPC recovers 301 houses from 2 civil servants. That can be found on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. Government winning war against Boko Haram bandits. We can see that story on page 5. And showing car to government, travel forms cumbersome. We can see that on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. Just underneath that banner headline there, we see 3 riders. Memiko's defection unsettles Ondo chapter, and court to rule on secondary suit today. Of course, OB, others not barred from convention. Then we see a story right there underneath picture of the day, deduction from state allocation on hold for now. And that's a story that we can be read on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. We see something else on Nigerian Tribune. Of course, it's the PDP story right there on the front page. Anxiety in PDP as appeal court decide secondaries today. But the 3 riders, the first is saying, Tertiary, convention will open floodgate for defections to PDP. Well, we can get out on page 2 and 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. And Osun PDP adopt Oyinlola as candidate for position of Deputy National Chairman. Underneath that story, we see 2023 can once against Christian Muslim ticket. And that can be found on page 8. Stop treating Nigerians like criminals, illegal immigrant, showing cartels, federal government. And then we're seeing Facebook changes company name to Meta. Just besides that, we see why Benway keyed into federal government's national livestock transformation plan. That's coming from Otom. And how Southwest government investment in agri will boost our region's food sufficiency. We can get that story on page 30. Of course, it's Dawn Commission saying that, talking about agriculture. We have a lot of other stories that you can find. And just on top of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper there, we see something. A murder suspect is saying, I use dry human skull as ritual for Yahoo Boy before killing my female friend to make more money. That can be found on page 26. And 8 members remove Plateau House of Assembly Speaker. The rather 14 others squash impeachment. Suspend 6 principal officers. That can be found on page 8. We have a couple of other stories that can be read on all of these newspapers and more. And just make sure that you stay abreast of what's happening in Nigeria. Follow us across all our social media platforms. That is at TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, stay updated on our website. That is www.tostvnetwork.com. nigeriannowtoday.com. Do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Thank you for joining us today on Friday's edition of the Nigerian Now. See you next week, Monday. I remain Merciful Ajinomo. Bye for now.